Okay, this is lesson number 8. In this lesson, we're going to talk about variable types, operators, and expressions. So, as I had promised, I'm going to talk a bit about theory of C programming also. And I'm going to write a lot of programs in front of you to see and get a feel of how to write a program. Okay, let's start from variables. Okay, uh, till now in all my programs, I have never told how to declare a variable. We have declared a lot of variables from really small variables from just C, to a bit more bigger variables like number underscore characters, number underscore repetition, or something like that. Okay, so let me just define all the rules of declaring a variable. All names of variables should consist either of characters or letters, digits and letters and underscore. And the variable name should begin with a letter or an underscore. You can't begin a variable name with a number, with a digit. So you can't say 1a or 2b. These sort of variable names are unacceptable. And it's also advisable for if you want to declare common variables, do not start with an underscore, because variables starting with underscore are usually defined in header files. So let's follow that convention, and if you want to declare a variable with starting with an underscore, it should be in a header file. Okay. And how long can be variable names? For internal variable names, first 31 characters are significant. That means you can have variables greater than 31 characters, but the first 31 characters will be significant throughout the program. Okay, but another condition for variables when you want to declare external variables is that when you have to declare external variables, you need to make sure that you need to keep in mind that less than 31 characters are significant. Not all 31 characters are significant. On very few of the first characters will be significant, because these will be used in assemblers and loaders as well. Okay, so that's kind of a restriction that you have in variable names. Another thing about variables is all the reserved words of C, like if, else, while, main, these cannot be used as variables. However, they can be part of variable names. For example, I can use if one, while two. Those sort of things can be used in variable names, but exactly the reserved words cannot be used in variable names. And in C, the lowercase alphabets and uppercase alphabets are different. That means a variable a in lowercase is different from variable a in uppercase. Okay, so you can have two variables, both are a, but one is lowercase, the other is uppercase. Another thing you need to observe in C is, you for all your common variables use lowercase. Okay, and for variables which are symbolic constants, that means you use it for hash define or something, use uppercase, all uppercase. Okay, but however, you can use a combination of upper and lowercase and underscore to declare longer variables. Okay, uh, to which have a good meaning in the program. Now let's talk about the different variable types, different types of variables that can exist. See, in C programming, right, there are only four basic types of variables. They are int, char, float, and double. Okay, what int is, all your integers you can store in int. That means all your numbers from 1 to 100, 200, or whatever the range of int is, which I'll talk about later, those can be stored in int. For character, there are basically 256 characters defined in ANSI. Those can be stored in characters. So if you want to store a single character, a letter, you can use char. Okay, when do you use float? Float we use to declare numbers with decimal points, 1.00, 1.01, those sort of numbers. The difference double is also used for the same thing. The difference is that for you can store much larger and higher precision numbers in double. Okay, so and what are qualifiers? Qualifiers are not variables themselves, but can be used in conjunction with variables. Okay, what is signed and unsigned is basically signed is to represent negative numbers, and unsigned means it doesn't represent negative numbers. Short and long, as the name suggests, is shorter form of the same variable, longer form of the same variable. You need to keep in mind that signed and unsigned can be used with int and char, but short and long can be used only with int. But when you use it with int, you don't use int at all. That means you just say short and long. Okay, and you can use signed and unsigned along with short and long. Okay, so here I have defined all the variables that you can declare. Okay, so you can declare int is the same if same as signed int, because when you declare int it says signed int, and unsigned int you represent only positive numbers. And short is short, signed short, unsigned short. Long, unsigned long, unsigned signed long, and unsigned long. Okay, few things is that the size of a variable in short cannot be more than the size of a variable in int, and the same as when the size of a variable int cannot be bigger than the size of long in any platform. However, how much the size of each int, short and long, how many bytes long it is decided by individual platforms. I'll just show you what my platform has decided for it. Okay, and character is usually always 1 byte. Okay, for when you say signed char, it is minus 127 to plus 128. Okay, and unsigned char is 0 to 256, and I think that's a bit constant with everywhere. And float, double, and long double. Float is again for decimal numbers, long is double position decimal numbers, and long double is much bigger decimal numbers, floating point numbers. Okay, and okay, one more thing, when I say signed char, it's from minus 128 to plus 127. I think I told it as minus 127 to plus 128. It's actually minus 128 to plus 127. Okay, and these are all the variables that can you declare in C. These are all the variables you can declare in C. Now I just wrote on a small program to find out the size of all the variables and the minimum and maximum range of the variables. Okay, so let's just go through that. So this is the program. Basically what it does is that the most important part is the printf statements. Okay, there's an operator in C, size of, that will give you the size in bytes of any data type. Okay, you put it as this one. So, and there's a header file limits.h which declares the limits, which states the limits of all the data types. For example, it says int min to be what is the minimum range of int, and int max to be maximum range of int. The same is with unsigned int, short, unsigned short, unsigned, and char and unsigned char. Okay, so this is what it is with different data types. Okay, so okay, I think I had really missed long. Big mistake on my part. I understand that some part of programs are not visible, but what needs to be visible is all the printf statements, and I think that's visible. So let's just execute the program. Okay, and we'll see. Okay, so I think the program is executed, so let me execute it again. So as you see, okay, here it is. For the int it is 4, unsigned int is also 4 bytes long. Okay, and then this is the range, minimum and the maximum range. So as you see, the long and the int is of the same size in my platform, and short is half the long, and character is always 1 byte. Okay, and more of it in the next lesson.